Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. Today's show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time you're checking out the show. We appreciate you checking in, man. For all new subscribers, man, please click the subscribe button at the top. I didn't mean subscriber. I actually just meant to say somebody checking it out, but we hope that you're a future subscriber, so welcome. Today is Thursday, February 29th. And we are going to do our Friday episode, NBA wrap up, kind of starting out with a bang, coming back from All-Star week. Pelicans look good. Lakers look good. Clippers look good. Great game between the Clippers and the Lakers last night. Got a few topics we want to get to. I think the biggest piece of news was the Clippers game. I actually recorded last night, and I was watching the game while I was recording, and the Clippers were up 21. I think I even said it in What the Fuck Wednesday's episode. Like, yeah, I'm sitting here watching the Lakers get smoked right now by the Clippers. And then LeBron James lost his motherfucking mind, and I loved every fucking minute of it. That was amazing. That was great. I'm not going to blow it out of proportion. It was a regular season game, but it was very, very impressive, entertaining, however you want to break it down. Very impressive to watch a guy just control the game, outscore the Clippers by itself in the fourth. Big win for the Lakers. Huge win, a win they needed. I think they're in ninth place right now. Clippers in fourth. So that was a win that was much needed. And it was impressive to see. I'll wait till I have some guests to really get into this whole GOAT thing. I don't think it's good for viewing material for me to just express my point. But I will say this. When LeBron James retires from basketball, he's the GOAT. That's my opinion. There's nothing that's going to change that opinion. I've watched Jordan. I've watched Kobe, both of them thoroughly, just like I'm watching LeBron James. And I will say this. LeBron James is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. Greatest basketball player I ever watched play basketball, period. There is no doubt in my mind. I've had some favorites. Penny Hardaway was a favorite from me. Michael Jordan was a favorite from me. I love Charles Barkley's game. Allen Iverson, loved Allen Iverson's game. LeBron James is the best basketball player I've ever watched play basketball. Period. That's my opinion. There's nothing you can say to change that. Moving on. Staking in the Western Conference, man. I've been saying this on a couple of episodes previously. I'm impressed by the Timberwolves. I'm impressed by the OKC Thunder. I want both of them to do well, but they're both really young teams and they haven't proven shit. And the Warriors are streaking right now. The Lakers are streaking right now. Phoenix is looking really good, and all of them are towards the bottom of the West. And just don't be surprised if the matchups don't measure out to what you think. Dallas looks really good with the new pieces they made at the trade deadline. They have experience. Dallas has been to the Western Conference Finals. Phoenix has been to the finals. The Lakers have been to the Western Conference Finals, have a championship. The Warriors are a dynasty. These are not just teams that you just dismiss and say, these teams at the top can do whatever they want to these teams. Nobody's worried about these teams. If you're saying that, you're a fucking idiot, because experience in any sport matters. Now, should the Thunder beat the Lakers in the 7 games? Yes, they should. Absolutely. 4-2. Easy. Maybe even 4-1. But what happens is things change when you become the hunted. See, when you're young and you're going out there and you're shooting with the top spot, and you had Kobe out there and Kobe and Shaq, you had LeBron in the East, you're gunning for these guys. And now it's your turn to lead. Now it's your turn to be leading a team, and you're being hunted by those guys. That's a different vibe. And not everybody can withstand that type of pressure. I might be all the way wrong, but I'm telling you, if these older veteran teams stay healthy, Sacramento is another one. These older veteran teams stay healthy going into the playoffs, I don't believe in those guys at the top of the West until they show it to me. I mean, I got to see it. I don't remember what Minnesota being in the Western Conference Final anytime recently. OKC has, when they had Durant, Harden, and Westbrook, and look how long ago that was. We're talking like 2011, no, 12, because they made it to the finals to play the Heat. Talking 2012. It's 2000. That was 12 years ago. Let that sink in. That was 12 fucking years ago. But yeah, it's not that I don't believe in those young guys, man. I want them to do well. I like the teams. I love Anthony Edwards' game. I do. But, I mean, specifically, if you want me to really break it down, I don't believe in Karl Anthony Towns. And I don't believe Shai Alexander can drag that team by himself. No, those other guys chip in. Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren. They got really good young pieces, and it's no disrespect to them. It's just y'all not him. He's up for the MVP, and there's no clear-cut second guy. Jalen Williams looks like he wants to fill the role. He definitely looks like he wants to fill the role, but I play prize picks. I see what you do on a night-to-night basis. Averages are cool, but you can't go from having 28 one game and then 5 the next or 11 the next and not be effective no matter how many points you had. So I'm going to have to see it from them. And, the older teams, it's an uphill battle for them, man. Like, they shouldn't win these series. The Lakers should not be anybody above 6 in the West. But I've been watching those guys, most of them for their entire careers, bro. And when you got LeBron James and you got Anthony Davis, you absolutely have a shot, period. Anybody saying anything different is just really, they don't like them or they just don't have no faith in them and, they caught up in the moment. I'm telling you, you got that kind of star power on the team, you have a shot. Denver is still the best in the West. I don't see anybody, any of those teams, including the Lakers and the Warriors, beating Denver in 7 games. Not right now. Not with Jamal Murray healthy. Not with Nikola Jokic healthy. I just don't see it. I apologize, man, if you hear my wire tapping against my chair. Still a little ghetto on the setup. But listen, come on, man. We making updates. I got a little battery. We making updates. We making changes, man. It's upgrades. You see it. So it's coming. I promise y'all. But let's move to the East, man. Eastern Conference is a little different. Definitely still got those veteran teams lurking. Miami, Cleveland is a veteran team. The Knicks. And at the top of the list, you got Milwaukee, Indiana, and the Boston Celtics. I'm not saying that in any particular order. I didn't look at the rankings. I know Boston is number 1 and clear-cut number 1. Nobody, in my opinion, depending on health, is beating Boston in 7 games in the East. Nobody. Mark it down. I said it February 29th. I think it's like 10:15 p.m. Nobody's beating Boston in the East if they're healthy. Nobody has what it takes. The Heat, I would give the Heat a better chance than the Bucks. And only because I'm not sure if the Bucks are going to come around. Talent-wise, the Bucks can do it. With Dame and Giannis, if they actually find a real rhythm, which I think they've won like 4 or 5 in a row, they've played Charlotte twice, though. You know what I mean? Like, so, take it with a grain of salt. They got some big wins. They did beat Minnesota. And I don't remember who the other 2 games were, but 5 in a row is 5 in a row. You know what I mean? Shout out to Doc Rivers for kind of taking a little heat off of what he had going on, but we'll see how it plays out. I think they got a big game coming up this weekend. I know the Lakers play Denver again, which would be very interesting, and I think Denver's playing Miami tonight, so that game will be good. LeBron has a chance to break 40,000 tonight. I pray and hope that they don't celebrate it and stop the game and make a big deal out of it. Listen, you already got the scoring title. Everything else is just extra right now. 40,000 is crazy. That's crazy accomplishment. But back to the Eastern Conference standings. Cleveland has a shot. They look really good with their pieces. They have a bad habit of getting unhealthy around playoff time, and then certain players kind of disappear. Lost to the Knicks last year. Should have beat the Knicks last year. They were a better team, but the Knicks wanted it more. So with the addition, with Donovan Mitchell playing the way he's been playing, LeVert's coming along, Strus, still kind of streaky offensively, but definitely a 3-and-D guy. And Evan Mobley and Jared down low, they definitely are a problem. But I think right now it comes down to Boston, Indiana, and Milwaukee. Miami would probably be a dark horse team for me just because they do have really good pieces too. They have really, really, really good pieces. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, man. Bam Adebayo is Bam Adebayo. Tyler Hero is a bucket. Terry Rozier, they call him Scary Terry for a reason. He's known to show up in big games. So they could be a problem. So that's 4 teams. And then you got everybody else. Indiana, to me, is the most interesting team in the East, though. I think Indiana has the talent to beat anybody except for Boston in the East. I don't think they can beat Boston because defensively they're so bad right now. The Spicy P Siakam trade was a good trade for them, and it's working out well. He works well with Halliburton, as he should. Halliburton's a pure point, but he can score. He's a taller point. You could just see it in his face, like he really wants to win. He's playing to win. He's playing for his teammates. Plays it the right way, man. So his attitude and approach to the game is infectious. Miles Turner is having a good year. They got some great young players. Mathis. They traded Buddy Hield, which Buddy never could really get the consistent shot or shooter vibe that they needed. So, he was expendable. It was a good move for him. I like watching Indiana play. They're super entertaining, man. They score a lot of fucking points. They score a lot of points, and they do it with a different type of flash and energy. And that's something I think where the new NBA is trying to take it. But every team doesn't look like that. So, it's kind of you gotta take it with a grain of salt. When you find that right mix of players, they can be so entertaining. And sometimes the shit just looks horrible. But that's the beauty of it, man. You kind of get to grow with the game. You see the different options and the different stages of it. If you can really appreciate it. But if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Completely understand. No knock to you. Doesn't mean you don't know basketball. You just don't enjoy this particular brand of basketball. I do. I can appreciate it for what it is. And 1 through 5 is athletes on the floor. I was just watching a Hardwood Classic game. I think it was from 1987. I think it was the Pistons and the Nuggets. Alex English, shout out to South Carolina Dreer's own Hall of Famer Alex English, was playing in this game. I think he was the leading scorer. He had like 35 points. Bro, it was literally about 4 or 5 guys who had absolutely no offensive game and getting major minutes. Major minutes. I mean like 20, 25 minutes in an NBA game. While they were playing, they were 6'7", 6'8", physical. You can go out here and rebound and defend. That is not going to get you in the NBA now. News fucking flash. That is not going to get you in the NBA right now. And it doesn't take away from what those guys were. It doesn't take away from that era. But it's letting you know that these guys are more skilled. It is a skilled player in the NBA on most NBA rosters, 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The center. Nikola Jokic. Let's just use him as an example. Joel Embiid. Anthony Davis, who plays 5 sometimes. Adebayo plays 5. Nurkic is a good player. Looks great for Phoenix. My man out of Chicago, he used to be with Orlando, Vujicic. Athletic, can shoot the 3. You didn't have this many athletic 5s back in the day, bro. So, the talent level is crazy. The NBA is something that, to me, you can always enjoy it if you just watch it in the playoff time, especially if you know the game. You don't have to watch it all year. But me, I like to be able to see what's coming, and if I'm watching it all year, you can kind of get tendencies from teams and tendencies from players. Like, Anthony Edwards has been a dog for a long time, not just this year. He's been a dog since he got in the league. When they made their playoff run last year, they ran up against Denver. He was a problem for Denver. He was a problem. And if you honestly, my nigga ain't gonna like this. Mike Jones ain't gonna like this. I'm gonna take Anthony Edwards over Shai, even though Shai is in the MVP race. Should be in the MVP race. He's having an amazing year, averaging over 30. Team is number 2 in the West. He's coming to play every single night. He does more than just score. Should definitely be an MVP. But if you asking me in a playoff game, Game 7, who I think gonna be that dog, who's gonna be him? Oh yeah, let me get Ant-Man. I'll take Ant-Man. Shy got it in him. I'm not saying he don't, but I like Ant's athletic ability. If he's shooting the ball well, along with whatever he's able to do athletically, I think he's got the edge. As far as the MVP race, I'm gonna touch on that real quick. Let's put some respect on Jason Tatum's name. All I hear is Jokic and Shai Alexander for MVP. Jason Tatum is the best player on the best team in the NBA. Yes, the Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA, and I'm not saying that because that's my opinion. Their record says so. Their record says so. They are the best team in the NBA by far, as far as records are concerned. He's leading that team. He's getting triple doubles. He's having those games where he's got 22 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. They're winning. He's doing whatever they need him to do to win. He is doing a little bit of bitching, a little bit more bitching with the referees that I don't particularly care for. But, as far as him being a player and just doing his thing, man, listen, Jason Tatum should be at the top of every fucking MVP list right now. He should be at the top. The other guys are well deserving of that MVP award. Jokic and Shai, both of them having great years. They're doing exactly what they're doing on a night-to-night basis, being consistent. But if you ask me, Jason Tatum should be the front runner right now, and I don't think he's getting enough love. We'll see how it plays out with the rest of the season. We're going to enjoy the weekend, man. The kids got a big track meet at Laura Richland, LR or Diamond Hornet. It's crazy to call them Diamond Hornets. The Diamond Hornet Invitational, that's going to be Saturday starting at 9 a.m. If you're in the area, if you're local, you're checking out, man, come check out. It's a pretty big invitational, man. Support your local high school. Support these kids trying to do what they do and just staying out of trouble, doing the right thing, man. Come out. I'll be back Monday. I'll probably try to record something Sunday night and have it out to y'all on Monday, man. Marcus, Front Office Podcast, Tees and Trees. Click, like, share, and subscribe, man. If you're really rocking with me, we really appreciate it. Peace.